Hey guys, and welcome back to another video, and it is that time of year again. We gotta look back and chronicle all of the loot videos that I did in the past year, and this year marks the 4th year that I've been doing loot videos on RuneScape 3, so alright. All the way back in August, I made a loot video of 1,000 Arhat kills, and yeah, it was actually a really fun video to make because they have 2 unique drops, the Draconic Visage and the Seryu's Claw, which can be used to make the tier 85 spear Mizuyari. At the time, I think the spear was like 30 mil. I still think it's pretty spendy, even now. And I did end up getting one of those claws, which, you know, made the video quite profitable. And I did enjoy the creatures. I cannot wait to do these on my Iron Man. And yeah, looking at the stats, I got 43 million GP from it, and it only took like 8 hours. And not too bad experience as well. So it was a pretty good way to start off the year. Towards the end of August, I had some weird motivation to go and kill crystal shapeshifters, which you can unlock after the Light Within quest. The reason I didn't do them earlier is because I just didn't really play all that much when it first came out. I did the quest a lot later than I probably should have. As you can see, we did make 14.1 mil, which isn't too bad, and it only took 4 hours, so it's a pretty good money per hour, and this wasn't really luck-based, I don't think. The crystal boots that you get do sell for a lot, when I did this video. I don't think they do anymore, but enough of those lame creatures. The next video I did was 500 Helwyr, and this was a continuation of the 100 Helwyr I did a very long time ago when God of War 2 first was released. I finished this towards the beginning of September, so right when I was starting school. Yeah, this was pretty fun. I love Helwyr. It's one of my favorite bosses in the game, and I still want that pet. I just barely have motivation to go kill it. Too bad my luck at God of War 2 isn't the greatest for some reason. I only got 1 crest, and yeah, that was it in 500 kills. I did get 9 essences though. I don't think that's anything spectacular, but just keep in mind, I had the double increased drop chance. But looking at the stats, we did make 97.5 mil in 20 hours, so it was still very good money. I cannot wait to go back there if I ever do. Now, the next video I did was kind of interesting. I made a loot video of 100 wishing well bushes. Now, if you have no idea what this is, it's a plant you can make at like really high farming. I don't remember. I think it's 96. So how it works is you deposit money into the wishing well dependent on your total level. So higher your total level, the more money it is, and essentially the higher the reward. But it's completely random, and chances are you're probably going to lose money on it. And that is exactly what happened for me. You just get a bunch of randomized items for the money you put in, and yeah, it's just not good on main accounts. I lost 6 million GP in... I just put 2 hours there just because, you know, the runs and everything. I don't know exactly how long it took, but yeah. Then I had the really cool idea of completing a week of dailies and then chronicling all of that and kind of make the video into a guide form. A lot of people love that video. Yeah, I just did as many dailies as I thought were worth it, and yeah, we made 26.1 mil. If you are interested in like the specific things I did in that video, I'd recommend checking it out. Just know all of the videos in this are going to be in the description. There's an index so you can skip ahead and stuff like that. And there will be links to those videos. About a week and a half later, I finished another video, this time on the Dagannoth Kings, because they did have a rework back then. What that was basically is they added the Dagannoth Kings teleport drop and kind of changed their loot a bit. They still have the rare drops the same, but the normal loot was supposedly improved. But with my testing, it was about the same, if not less money per hour, which is kind of sad. And they were also graphically reworked, as you can see, if you haven't seen them in a while. Yeah, the 1,000 kills took me 8 hours, as you can see, and I made 28 mil. Not too bad. Not my favorite thing anymore, now that they got rid of the Water Talisman drop, or at least the, you know, the high amount. That was the fun of DKs, because you'd make so much money from that if you were lucky, but oh well. Then I took a bit of a break from combat, and I worked on a loot from 100 herb runs video. I did it again because bloodweeds came out, which are a very expensive herb that you can only grow in the wilderness, and it actually increases your money per hour, or not per hour, sorry, per herb run so much. So like, I wanted to show how much money you can make from herb runs, and as you can see, I made 43 mil in 10 hours. The reason I said it took 10 hours is because I was just saying that I could do a run in 6 minutes, and yeah, it really depends on the herb prices. I would highly recommend herb runs. Then we did 500 Vindicta, which, similar to the Helwyr video, I did not get lucky on. all that much. I got a Dragon Rider Lance very early on, and that was actually included in the previous video I've talked about for this, the 100 Vindicta. But that, and again, I had the 100% drop increase, so that was kind of sad. I'm telling you, my God Wars 2 luck is just not there. But we did end up with 92 mil in just about 20 hours. The common drops at God Wars 2 are just so good that it's still worth it. Then we had a very interesting video of 50 Elite Giant Mimic. A clusterfuck of words, I'll tell you, but it was like a kind of like a boss tie-in with the Treasure Hunter, and this is actually the second time it came around. I missed it the first time because I wasn't really playing all that much at the time. I was kind of taking a break from RuneScape. So I got to try it this time, and yeah, I actually made some decent money. I got 6.6 mil in 4 hours. I'll say decent because I actually got a lot of extra stuff that isn't necessarily tradable or price checkable. It doesn't really have a value, but it has merit, right? So yeah, it was actually really fun. It has annoying mechanics though, and I would recommend checking out the video if you have more, if you're interested. Then later in November, the Nightmares were released to RuneScape with the Children of Ma quest, and yeah, I was so happy these came out. They were so fun. I decided to kill 500 of them, and I made so much money from the Nightmare Gauntlets because at the time of release they were selling for so much. Back then they were actually fairly common, even off task. I really enjoy this creature, and as you can see, we made 37.2 mil in 4 hours. It's insane, man. Insane. And continuing our God Wars 2 themed videos, I finished 500 Gregorovic, which was a lot better than the previous ones because I actually got several rare drops. I got a lot of the essences, which are or were 4 mil at the time. They're still in my tab, but I'm sure they're not as much anymore. I also got one of the main hand glaive weapons and 2 offhand. As you can see, we made 133.6 mil in 20 hours, so a lot better than the other videos. And I really do like Greg. Not my favorite God Wars 2, I would say that's probably Helwyr, but probably a close second. I was originally going to go finish the 500 Twin Furies, but I never got the motivation, and I still have yet to finish that. And then there was like almost a 3-month gap in loot videos. The last one was December. This one was in late February. The reason for this huge break was because, as you guys know, this is when I started my Iron Man, and I got really into that, and I'm still really into that, and that's why the releases for loot videos kind of slowed down. And yeah, I also had jaw surgery back in January, so that was like goodbye 3 weeks essentially in terms of actively playing and recording. The 2000 Revenants kills was pretty alright. It wasn't the funnest thing I could ever have done, but I was interested in it. And yeah, as you can see, it was horrible money-wise. We made less than 900k per hour, but hey, I had some fun. I also got agility brawlers from the video. I'll take it. And then we had almost another 2-month break, and that's due to the Iron Man, like I said. But it's also just, what other videos could I have done? There wasn't many new creatures coming out, but right here is when some did. The Gemstone Dragons were released in mid-April, so I decided to make the 3 videos chronicling each of them. And the first was the Dragonstone Dragons, which was alright. And then the Onyx Dragons were pretty good. They were amazing, actually. I got the Gemstone Greaves middle of that video, sold for 56 mil or something. And then finally I ended up with the Hydrix Dragons at the end, which were pretty decent normal loot. You just have to pay money to kill the Gemstone Dragons off task. That's why these videos weren't really profitable. And I just wanted to talk about all of them together because they're pretty much the same thing. As for the stats for the Dragonstones, as you can see, yeah, you just do not make any money off task because you have to pay. If I was on task, it'd be a bit more, not too much, but yeah. Onyx Dragons, we made so much money, and that's just because of my luck, so kind of disregard that. And then the Hydrix Dragons were 1 mil an hour profit if you take out the payment. That doesn't even include supplies. So these 3 videos I probably did lose money, but I don't count supplies in this loot video, thing, because it would get way too convoluted and you guys probably would get really confused. And then for the remainder of my loot videos for this year, there were 2 giant, I'd say, series of loot videos I went and did. First being a bunch of creatures on the way to 120 Slayer. I was on the way of finishing 120 Slayer towards the end of May, so let's go do them one by one. There is a special, note I want to say about these 7 videos. but we'll get to that on the 120 Slayer video itself. So first up, we did 10,000 Airuts, which were pretty good. We got so many Razor Gauntlets. I think it was like 7. And as you can see, took 30 hours to do 10,000, which is pretty alright because we're using the Scythe and being on Slayer. And had some pretty good loot, I guess. The charms are very good, I would say. Not for the time spent, but overall. And goddamn, that melee experience is so good. Next, we did 1,000 Rune Dragons, which I also did 500 way back in the day when they first came out, but I kind of wanted to redo them to kind of have another chance because I never got the rare drops from them in the first video, sadly. But this time we did. We got 3 of the rare drops. It was actually all in one task. You may have remembered that video if you watched it. But yeah, we made a nice 120 mil in 16 hours. It was a very profitable video. Then we did 5,000 Edimmu, which, yeah, not my favorite task per se because they take forever, but most of this video I did it with the stupid ranging method, not using the intense cannon melee aggression potion method, which I would highly recommend. It would have made this video a lot faster, but yeah, we didn't do that. We got a lot of blood shards, I think 15. If I sold all of them when I got them originally, I would have made double the money, as you see. I mean, I got 146 mil, but it could have been easily 300 if I sold everything for its original price. Then we did 10,000 Muspah, which I really enjoyed. 75% of it was on Slayer, and the other 25 was during the Invention training when Invention first came out. So yeah, pretty straightforward. Very good loot. Almost 5 mil an hour. 20 hours of work. But hey, we killed 10,000 Muspah. So worth it. Then here comes a doozy of a video. 10,000 Celestials. And you guys know Celestials are very slow on task. They're like, for me at least, 200 kills per hour. I'm sure others could get faster, but you can imagine how long this video took. We got a lot of visages though, I think like 22 or 23. And yeah, it was definitely worth it. As you can see, 15,000 Crimson Charms. I think that's the big highlight from this video. That is a lot of charms, and it's definitely going to help on the way to 120 or even 200 mil summoning, especially when the summoning pet comes out. Next, we had 10,000 Dark Beasts, which there's not really much to say about them, honestly. 62 mil in 18 hours isn't too bad money per hour, but nothing special, really. I'm not a huge fan of Dark Beasts. I know a lot of people like them, but they're just kind of meh to me. And then, whoa, are we back to Nightmares? Yeah, so I did a lot of Nightmares during my 120 Slayer grind, and I kind of wanted to revisit them because I did mention they changed how the Nightmare Gauntlets are dropped. They made it where they're very, very rare off task, and then, you know, the same rate on task than they were before. So you want to be on task when killing Nightmares. So I did 2,500 kills. It was very, very worth it. And they're honestly one of my top 3 favorite tasks. And I think I've mentioned that several times in previous videos. But as you can see, 100 million GP in 15 hours. And most of that is coming from the Nightmare Gauntlets. And then came the big video that I was working on for years. On and off, obviously, because, you know, you could easily do this in a few months. But 120 Slayer was achieved June 3rd, 2017. Well, I mean, the video was made that time. I think I got it like mid-May. But I'm going to just cut the bullshit. Let's look at the stats for this video because it's crazy. Look at that. 1,100 mil, 300 hours. I actually got a decent amount of effigies. That's not really accurate because I didn't keep a like 100% accurate count of my effigies, but that's a decent estimate. And it's funny that half of the Crimson Charms are from Celestials only. The combat experience was definitely estimated. I have no idea exact, but that should be pretty close to what I got. And the reason why I mentioned that I'll get into something about the 7 videos before on the Slayer creatures is because all of those loot videos were included in this video. So when I am calculating the stats later in the video, like adding everything up, ignore all of the loot from the Airuts video all the way to the Nightmares. Just ignore all of that because it's all included in this. Just wanted to make sure you guys understand that so there is no confusion. But yeah, I am so glad we finished this video, honestly. It was something hanging over my head for a very long time, and I'm glad it is over. And then there was literally no break between this and my next series of loot videos because Menaphos came out. And yeah, there was, you know, the 12 new Slayer creatures that came out. There honestly, a lot of it was like a copy and paste, so it wasn't much different. But I had a lot of fun making these videos, and you guys know that. I had so much fun streaming these creatures and, you know, making the videos quickly for you guys. But because they were all pretty much the same, I don't know if you guys want me to, like, go in every single time and show the stats. I think we should just kind of cycle through them very quickly and not really talk about them unless there's anything interesting. Because, hey, I mean, it was going to get boring if I did because there's 12 of them. Corrupted Scorpions, meh. Corrupted Scarabs, they were a lot better, honestly. Like, almost twice the money from the Scorpions, but I really enjoyed them. The Lizard kind of sucked because you had to use ranged. I mean, you didn't have to, but you couldn't use, like, the really cool Scythe method with aggression potions because they won't go melee distance for you. Then the Dust Devils, I absolutely hate these creatures. Never again. Never want to do these again. I'm still dry. I'm pretty sure, like, 900 kills on the soul from them. So I'm a little salty with these guys. And that's 900 past this video, so trash. And then we had the Kelphites, which that doesn't mean they make more money in general. I just got lucky on keys. Back then, keys were actually like over 2 mil, so very, very interesting. And then finally, the last corrupted creature was the Workers, which didn't get any luck on there, but as you can see, it's a solid 3 mil an hour just with the normal loot. Granted, I don't know if that still holds up because of Vital Sparks and stuff. And remember, the keys are so worthless nowadays compared to when I made this video. And you might have been wondering, why are the charm numbers the same pretty much? And that's because most of it's just an estimate. All the charm rates have seemed to be about the same throughout all of these creatures, so I just kind of use that as a gauge, and that way it was a lot easier for me to not be super accurate with the charms, because they kind of got convoluted very easily. But yep, there you go. All the corrupted creatures, done. Then came the Soul Devourers, and the earlier videos, as you saw, those were all killed off task, which was definitely a mistake, because you will see in these price checks, I make so much more. And just know that the kill rates for all of these creatures are so fast that they're actually like, that I'm actually finishing the video in like 35, 40 minutes sometimes in terms of kills, but I'm not going to get that accurate. It's just going to make the calculations more annoying. So we just rounded up, usually up to an hour if it was under, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, first we had the Solowas, which were a lot of money, 20 mil, because we got a lot of good loot, like a lot of keys. We also got the Kopesh drop, which I think was like 7 mil, so very nice. Then we had the Felines, which was about the same, 20 mil, not bad at all. Then we had the Scarabs, which was 42 mil, the best video in the entire dungeon, because I got, I think, 2 Kopeshes, like 7 keys. I got the Corrupted Gem, which is like 15 mil at the time. Not anymore, obviously. I think it's like 3 now, but yeah, I made so much money in that video. Then we had Crocodiles, which are, honestly, I think the fastest Slayer experience out of all 6 of these, unless you're really good on the Imperials. But yeah, didn't really get too lucky on there, 6.6 mil. And then we had the Gorillas, which the 1 hour taken was actually 1 hour, because I was only getting like 500 kills an hour or something like that. The other ones were like upwards of 700. Very, very bad loot. Did not like that video at all. And then finally, the last loot video of the year, June 26, 2017. So I haven't made one in a while, but you know, there's not much more videos I can make at this point without like really delving into something different. Yeah, 500 Imperial Slayer monsters. I made 10 mil, and it took me 2 hours because I was getting like 250-ish an hour. That is all the loot videos we did this year. I'm saying that like as if it's not that much, but that is so many videos. I had a lot of motivation this year, and I'm still rocking that motivation. I'm just playing a lot more Iron Man, and I know I haven't made a lot of episodes lately, but yeah, they're going to be crazy in the future. Just wait. Anyway, I digress. You guys want to probably see how much money we've made in this year from loot videos alone. So here we go. Drum roll, please. Yep, I am not making that up. 1.8 billion. That obviously means I made so much more outside of loot videos too, but yeah. And yeah, it looks like I spent 453 hours in this year working on loot videos in terms of killing and stuff. So that is a lot. If you think about it, that's almost like an hour and a half a day solely on working on loot videos. So yeah, I spent a lot of time this year cranking out these things, and that doesn't even include the editing or whatever. So damn. But we did get a huge amount of charms added to the collection, especially Crimson's, and a lot of experience as well. The strength experience is kind of weird because towards the end I started training attack because I did actually finish the 200 mil strength back in May. So I'm going to still keep the strength symbol, but just know that it just means melee in general, okay? I might change it in the future, but it's not necessarily strength anymore. Keep in mind, guys, this is from this year only, year number 4. So if we add all of this to the total we had at the end of last year, you know, I didn't really expect it to be this high when I first finished the last video, but damn, 6.1 billion GP. That's a lot of money. That is so much money, but the amount of time I've spent kind of makes me a bit apprehensive, you know. But I've been having so much fun making videos for the past 4 years. Yeah, I've been making videos for a solid 4 years and 3 months now. Yeah, I am excited to see what happens in the 5th year. I'm sure you guys are too if you do like these type of videos. This is getting me really hyped to see what happens in the next year. And I always set a goal of what I want to see by the time the 5th year rolls around. So I want to shoot for, this is a big thing, but I do want to shoot for maybe 10 bill. This might be a little too much because I will be busy with school and my Iron Man. And keep in mind, this is only my main account. So I'm going to say 10 bill just because if I do get into PVM, like Angel of Death or, you know, back into Virago or something, this will definitely jump. Or, I mean, I actually might do a lot of Araxor as well. But yeah, this gold number will definitely jump up if I get into high tier PVM. So yeah, another thing, if you guys are wondering, this is 123 videos. There has been 123 times in my life where I was like, yeah, let's go kill this thing X billion times, make a video out of it, and here we are. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll be back to the Iron Man grind on the videos very soon. I apologize for the lack of videos lately, but with that, if you want to talk to me in game, join my friends chat, fatnooblet. Also, check out my links in the description where you can find my Twitch, where I do my live treat. Also, check out my links in the description where you can find my Twitch, where I do my live streams, my Twitter, my Patreon, and my Discord server. Either way, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day.